I love getting out in the morning and going for a bike ride, and so today I thought I'd bring you along for the ride as well. I've been going for a morning ride most mornings that I've lived here, which is now nearly 6 years, and it's just fantastic because there's no traffic. I'll pass maybe 2 or 3 motorcycles and a truck or 2 in the morning, but that's about it. Otherwise, I've got these beautiful roads through the rice fields all to myself. And because the rice is getting close to harvest, I thought I'd better get on my bike and make this video now. It's wonderful getting out early in the morning. There's hardly anybody about at this time of the year. It's just prior to harvesting, so I thought it would be an optimal time to make the video because the rice is just looking so beautiful. And it's beautiful down here any time of the year, but at this time when the rice is just ripe and growing, it is looking fantastic, and it's just such a pleasure. And this morning when I came out, I was a little hesitant because there was a lot of cloud when I looked out over to the west, but when I looked towards the sunrise it was fairly clear, and it's clouded over a bit now, but the light for the last half hour or so, 45 minutes, has just been absolutely gorgeous. So I've managed to get some nice little video clips and a selection of good photographs, and this will just help you enjoy the experience that I have most mornings when I'm out riding. Sure, sometimes the weather's not always that great. If it's raining, I'll stay in bed or get up and do something else, but when the light's perfect like this, I just love it. I don't usually have my camera with me, but it was such a blessing this morning to see the sun and how it illuminated the rice in the sky is quite dramatic, quite beautiful. When I come out in the morning, I don't do a long ride. I'll ride for about 20 minutes or half an hour and usually follow the same route down the hill and around through this rice field, down through this valley, and then turn around and go back up and go back a slightly different way. And no matter how peaceful and quiet it is, there's always something different, there's always something interesting to see and to enjoy as I'm riding. Quite often I'll nod and smile at my neighbours and say hi as we pass each other on the way. And this morning, as I've been making the videos, I've stopped here with my camera and tripod. I've had a few comments from people asking what I'm doing, and it's always just a lovely atmosphere out here whether there's anybody around or not. This morning I've seen a few birds, but not many. There's quite often quite a few egrets around, but I guess because it's getting near the end of the rice growing season, they'll be flying off to find food in other places. They come here for the crabs and the fish in the rice field. We also get some cranes or other quite tall birds, and they are just lovely to see, especially when I'm out in the beginning of the rice planting season when you've got all the fields are flooded. This whole area is just like a big mirror. And so these birds will be wading out through the rice paddies looking for food. I'll come along, sometimes if they're close to the road, they'll be a bit disturbed and they'll fly up, and often just fly along maybe a metre or so above the surface of the water. And so I'll get this absolutely gorgeous reflection of these beautiful, elegant white birds flying and seeing the reflection follow them along. It's something that you'd expect to see on a National Geographic TV program, but it's happening in real time as I ride past. And there's been changes during the 6 years that I've been riding down here. There's a number of new buildings, some houses, some other little structures. There's pieces of land that have been bought and fenced off, and the people haven't done anything with them. So now, instead of it being completely rice, there's now some empty sections and buildings and things like that. So it's a changing landscape, it's a changing environment. I'll just get to enjoy it as I can and hope that it doesn't change too quickly, because it is absolutely gorgeous the way it is. And along the way, there's quite a number of these structures. This is a cellar, it's a little shack that's built for the people when they're working on the rice. And I guess they're not using them as much anymore because now everybody's got a motorcycle and they just live in one of the villages around, so they'd probably hop on their motorcycle and go home when it was lunchtime. But they still use them for taking a break. Some of them are in better condition than others. There's a few newer ones, and there's some that are just literally falling apart that people haven't really kept up with them. And I guess it's because they don't have to walk home for lunch anymore, that they can ride their motorcycles rather than sit in the cellar. Over the years, I've taken quite a collection of photographs of these little buildings, these little structures in the rice fields, because it just adds something of interest to a landscape composition when you've got something even as simple as a salar in the picture. I really do love to get out and ride in the morning. I find it's a perfect way to start my day. It helps just get the blood flowing through my veins. It helps to wake me up physically and mentally and spiritually. And I'd never like it if I have to miss too many mornings in a row. Sometimes if it's raining or if we've got customers that are wanting breakfast early in the morning and I'm having to help with breakfast, then I'll miss going for my ride. And if I don't get out early enough, the day just gets too hot too quickly, so it's not nearly as pleasant. But when I do come, I am just enjoying the peacefulness and the beauty all around me. And I just take time to think through my day. It's like my meditation. It's like my preparation mentally and spiritually for the day as well as physically. So it gets me moving. Like I said, it gets the blood flowing through my veins, but it also helps to clear my head and clear my thoughts and really focus on what I want to do today and how I want to approach the tasks that I've got to do, what I've got lined up for my day. And it's also a peaceful spiritual time just to reflect on different things. It's like a meditation. I work through similar meditation every morning, and I find it really just helps me to stay centered and stay grounded in my thoughts and in my feelings, and to really approach the day with a positive attitude and a positive energy. And if I don't ride in the morning, I usually do try and work through the same little meditation, but it's never quite the same as when I get out and do this while I'm riding my bike, when I'm feeling the wind, when I'm seeing the nature all around me and just really appreciating the beauty that I live amongst. I certainly find on the days that I do get out for a bike ride, I typically get more done and am more focused on my work and what I'm doing, whether it's sitting at my computer editing or taking photos or working in the garden or building something for the house. Anything that I'm doing, if I've had the foundation of going for a bike ride in the morning, then my whole day I generally find is so much more productive. And as you can see, I'm pretty relaxed about it. I'm just out here in an old t-shirt and a pair of shorts on my old bike and just enjoying myself. I'm not getting all togged up in fancy gear. Every now and again, I'll see a group of guys or just individuals that are down here riding, and they'll have all the lycra on and all the fancy sunglasses and helmets and everything else. But for me, I don't really care about that. I just like to get out on my old bicycle, which is a real beauty. It's a real classic that somebody actually gave me a long time ago, back probably 10, maybe no longer than that, 11, 12 years ago. I had a couple of couch surfers stay with me when I was in Chiang Mai. These people had ridden from Nha Ninh in China, and they'd ridden down through Vietnam, up through Cambodia, and all the way up to Chiang Mai in northern Thailand. And they were flying home from there, and the guy had sold his bike, and the young woman couldn't bring herself to sell the bike, and so she left it with me and said, you can ride it, you can guest can ride it. But she couldn't bear to sell it for the price that she'd been offered through one of the stores here, because she had hand-built the bike herself. She'd custom-built this bike for that bike ride that they'd done right down through the Indochina region and up to Chiang Mai. So it was a wonderful gift, and every now and again I'll contact Lion and send her a picture. I must tag her in this video to let her know, hey, thanks Lion, thanks for your bike. Really appreciate it. I really enjoy riding it every morning.